Zio has been playing a lot of Zia, has prepared that pick for a while now, so definitely a good target ban from Grow Up.
Yeah, we've seen Shurama.
Shurima.
Shurima, there we go. It's been a thing on Twitter. The Emperor has been played a lot of times. So Sivir also very solid AD carry these days. Not really for damage, but more for utility.
Yeah, so Sivir, Sadrion doesn't play that much Sivir himself, so I guess this is more target ban towards the whole composition possibility towards Grow Up. So I wonder if they've got something prepared just for the possible counter that Sivir would be for Grow Up. So maybe some form of hard engage that they don't want to disengage with Sivir. Who knows?
Now I'm really curious if they're actually going to play these poke comps, yes or no, we're seeing in the LCS these days. And what are they going to go for? I see a Malphite ban as well, which is not something you see a lot.
Oh, it's kind of weird. Beansu has played it once or twice in solo queue in his match history, but there's not that big amount of games that he's played on Malphite. But maybe they've seen something before while they were practicing here.
Or they want to do something. I see Jenna being banned out as well, the ultimate support for Pokecoms.
Yeah, a Mountain, of course. Mountain, big Jenna player.
Everybody has to play Banner. Yeah, of course, Kalista has to be locked out as well. So all the other carries here for Mouse being banned out. So I wonder what they're going to play, either Corki or something totally different.
Yeah, then possible option would be to then is maybe Ashe, of course, but not as...
We haven't seen a lot of Ashe yet.
No, not really anymore, but of course we've got the Corki, like you said, might be possible, Azrael somewhere in between. So Alistair first pick, of course, a very dominant support these days, so they immediately go for that first
And also
pick.
a nice disengage if you don't have Janna, so that works. Exactly. And of course there's the Corki and Echo. Of course, he has not been banned out.
Yeah, so Echo... It doesn't get banned that much anymore. Like, it's not really the general OP that people think, but it's being played a lot in the jungle these days. So I would assume that is a jungle Echo, and then with the mid-game power spike with the Corki.
Yeah. I mean, they really made it interesting for Grow Up because they banned 3 AD carries, picked Corki, and so what's left, right? I mean, they could play Azrael as AD carry, which has been done in the LCS a few times, but otherwise they have to go back to the old picks. So it's quite interesting. Rek'Sai being hoovered over, being one of the most aggressive and seen as the best jungler right now. It's quite interesting.
Definitely.
That they give it away easily.
Yeah, Maokai on top of that, so they've got a really tanky front line now in that top lane. So maybe they'll be picking Jinx later, of course, Alistair.
Of course, Jinx, yeah.
Providing that disengage, so maybe they will go this pseudo protect the AD carry composition with the Jinx, because what is left over of it?
Yeah, and so they don't have to pick it yet, because I mean AD carry has been picked up already by Mouse, so they can leave it till the end. Jace, nice pick up. I don't think Timo is going to be hit though.
Don't think so too. Zara has been practicing that Jace, so I would not be surprised if he would pick it.
Would work well with Corki as well for the poke comp.
Poke comp indeed. And Jace Corki, I think it was pre-season 5, where it was the most popular composition. Like having that instant mid-game power spike, there was nothing you could do against that amount of poke that Jace and Corki could bring. So on top of that, they take the Gnar, so they do have some form of follow-up after that poking. Of course, Gnar has a little bit of poke himself with the boomerang, and as soon as he's full rage, they can still go in with the Echo and just clean up.
Yeah, and Echo can always chrono break out of there if things get a bit too hot. Lucian being hovered over is a comfortable pick, maybe, but it's alright, I guess, but not really what you want either. It's a bit of a...
Well, Lucian would be a good pick against the Corki matchup, just because Lucian is better during the laning phase against the Corki, not necessarily, but he has more tools to bully an enemy AD carry, so it is a relatively safe pick too.
It's a safe pick, however, Corki has been used a lot as a counter versus Lucian, so...
Well, it depends. Also, might be possible like lane swaps going on, you know, just to skip the laning phase and get the instant mid game for the Corki. Now, Victor being the last pick as well for Grow Up, so a very strong mid laner. And for the very last pick for Mouse, we see the Thresh.
Yeah, makes sense.
definitely makes sense. Helps the Corki to get through that laning phase.
Yeah, he wants to get level 6 as quick as possible.
Exactly, so you still have that dominant power from the support with the Corki. Also secures the phosphor bombs, of course, with the hooks, with the flays. So enough heal for Corki, also possible Jace. And you have great pick potential with the lineup of Mouse.
And of course Fresh has a good disengage as well, so they can just keep him poking with Corki, with Jace. And if they get too close, Echo can just jump in, of course. And Gnar also has a little disengage, so that looks solid.
Yeah, so I actually wonder why they went for the Janna ban instead of the Thresh ban, because Mountain, like, he's a big Janna and Thresh player, so he is both a heavy healing support and as well for playmaker support in the Thresh.
Maybe they made a choice between two evils, either Thresh or Janna.
I guess so, I guess so. And Mouse normally does pretty well against like hard engage comps where they just like get the disengage from the Janna, and they are really good at kiting the enemy team out, and so they can just go back in again, just peel a little bit. And especially with poke comp, if you can kite that for long enough and still poke during that amount of time you get the disengage, then of course you can go back in again, because you've poked them down, you've got the acceleration gauge from the Jace. Possibly at that time you also got like a talisman on the Thresh, so a lot of re-engage possibilities with Mouse.
Yeah, the only question is, will Grow Up swap their lanes, yes or no? I mean, Maokai, of course, is pretty good 1 versus 2, and that would help the Lucian Alistar. Yeah, that's the question.
I would say Gnar is still fine in the 1v2 lane swap. He has long range, he's a range champion after all, so he can still farm safely on the turret in the 1v2, but most of the times we just see this body system in the jungle where they just help out the jungler to get the early clear, so they can maybe get like a 4-man push in the top lane, just get the turret as soon as possible. But yeah, like, I would think Mouse would preferably want 2v1 lane swap, just because they've got the Corki Thresh, and that is facing against the Lucian Alistar. Alistar can still be considered a counter towards Thresh, because you can cancel the Lantern with your knockup, you still have disengage on the engage from Thresh, and you've got Lucian, so a little bit more dominant AD carry than a Corki generally in the laning phase, and for Corki in that lane swap, they will be able to just go straight in the mid game.
Yeah, because that's what Corki wants. He just wants to go to level 6, and Fresh is there to babysit him pretty much. And maybe help a gank here and there.
But we'll see. Maybe they will still go for the 2v2. Maybe they're confident enough. I mean, it's a Thresh after all. A lot of playmaking. Maybe we see Dan camping the bot lane too, just to get Corki fed, to get the edge over Lucian, and just basically outscale the Lucian during the mid game, and just use your full mid game power spike with the Jace, Corki, and just like siege down turrets.
Yeah, Curse is gonna go. I mean, 1 more minute till we go into this game. This is, of course, one of the pro matches here at the eSportsFestival in Belgium, in Ghent. Galemco's arena, I believe. I hope I said it well this time. Here on the hottest day of the week. So it's going to be awesome.
I can feel it definitely. It's getting warmer and warmer.
And after this match, it's going to get even warmer.
Yeah, exactly.
The action is going to be hot. Oh. Yeah, man. No, I'm really excited about these matches. Especially since this is high level.
So actually, I actually want to go over the matchup between Victor and Jay. So both have forms of poke, obviously.
Yeah.
They've got the laser on the Victor. You've just got the standard EQ combination on Jace. But I wonder how effective Zio is on Jace, because if you would watch Forbidden in LCS, for example, his Jace is so good. The way he uses his gates and his shots is just so instant, so hard to dodge, and he's so good at it. That's why I'm really wondering if I can do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious as well. We can put up the shield just in time to actually block that J shot from the accelerating game, but it's really hard. And once it hits late game, ow.
And it's also slightly delayed, that shield, because you first need to proc it onto a minion.
So he also needs minions around him to be able to protect it, so wow.
But I wonder, like, it really depends. There also might be a little bit of mid lane focus from both of the teams, just to get the Jace ahead or the Victor ahead, just so they can have their, like, 100-0 potential, because Victor, of course, he can go either this sustained DPS way, where we'd go like Renomicon, Rabadon's Death Cap, just to get good damage down with the laser, or maybe get a Lich Bane second item, just to get the instant burst with the auto attack proc on his Qs.
Yeah, he has pretty high damage, especially late game with his staff. It's actually really, really good. I mean, he's one of the champions with the highest AP without building AP, I believe, together with Cassiopeia.
I would say so, yeah. Like, his scalings are through the roof, especially if he gets a lot of ability power.
Just waiting till our Scream gets a game as well.
I do hear some pings,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we don't see the game yet, unfortunately. Victor also went for cleanse, actually, so I guess he suspects. I think Cherry, should call him Cherry, like the player with all the eyes.
And he wants to be called Cherry. Thank you. We got screen.
Yes, we got it. We got it, boys.
Nice.
So we are ready. We are ready.
So we are into the Rift here. So Upro is also called grown up. Grow up.
Grow up. Grow up.
I believe they are grown up. So
I would say so, yeah. But you never know. You actually got a lot of talents around the scene. Young talents that are just like 17, and they're just like really, really great players and can potentially grow. Really,
I'm really curious what kind of talent that Portugal is going to bring in.
Yeah,
we've not seen it before, so.
Yeah, there are not that many Portuguese players around either.
No, it's mostly a lot of Spanish I've seen, but Portuguese is. Yeah.
So time to make a change. So let's see if Grow can do that. So. Like I said, Cherry went with the cleanse, so I guess he suspects that Dan will be ganking mid a lot just to cleanse out of the stun with the convergence, parallel convergence from the Echo, and then to see if you can get a counter gank in and just instantly go for DPS to counter it.
Yeah. So it seems everybody's playing quite safe in the start. All the wards are in the river, and everybody seems to just go to the normal lane. So
no invades. No invades or whatsoever.
I think this is the best of one, so people really don't want to risk anything just yet.
We do see, though, that Maokai went for the level 1 camp start, so he'll be hitting level 2 instantly. Get a little bit of more potions in for the extra sustain, and then recall, not recall.
Tifo, however, fighting it out here. Echo trying to steal this red buff. Dan has to be very careful. Will flash over the wall, but will be followed here by Tifo. But it will be saved by Xio. But Cherry will follow, jump over the wall. Will he get a first kill? We don't know. We're not on the screen. No, he will get away. Here we go.
The potion
so
there. Yeah, the potion there, giving that HP over time during combat, getting him extra effective HP just because of the regen of that potion. So he gets out, but it is a heal beam blown and a flash for a mouse, where it is 2 flashes for grow up.
Yeah, Tifo, this really shows why Rek'Sai is such a dominant pick. I mean, you can just jump into that jungle and just annihilate wherever you find there.
So Cedrion and Mountain so far are having quite a good time in this lane. They are 10 CS up for Cedrion so far, so it is going into the favor of the Corki, and they have a huge wave that is getting into this turret.
Oh, nice hook here on Last Wolf. Some damage in, but he will jump out in time. So yeah, they have to be a bit careful here. The early game is not in their favor.
They're really low on HP. I actually see a flash beam burned from Idro. I guess they went for a level 2 engage that didn't really turn out their favor. Low, yeah. So now they're getting zoned out with low HP.
So that's something we probably missed while they were fighting here. And that's probably why they're so low. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah. Cherry are also quite ahead here on the CS. On Xio. Tifo is going back to base. Had to hit is fun. And it seems that Dan is also trying to cover up his losses at the red buff here.
So we actually see a pink ward right now from Dan. So yeah, of course he was forced to back out. He didn't get to do that whole invade from grow up. So he went back. He went for the pink ward. So he will have a lot of defense. And I see the Stalker's Blade right now for Tifo. So that means he will be looking to get extra CC in during the Ghent, rather going over the Skirmisher Saber just to get extra damage in. Now he just goes for like, okay, I want to gank, I want to get CC down, I want to lock people up.
Awesome. So Dan is pinging here from mid, seeing if he can make a move somehow, but the lane is of course pretty pushed out here. Not really much we can do, so he actually is going to go into the jungle, but he does not know Tifo is there as well, of course. So they're going to go in another fight here. Dan has the blue buff, so he will have to get away. Pink ward is placed right there, like you were talking about. So really nice spot.
It was a little bit dangerous from Dan to go in the enemy jungle. I guess he thought that red buff was still being taken by Tifo, but Tifo already had that red buff, so he had the upper hand in that 1v1 just because of the extra damage and slow that the red buff brings.
Yeah, he really does not want to lose more at this point, so he has to be a bit more careful. He is Echo after all. However, CS-wise, he's actually ahead, which is really good for him. So here in the top lane, doing really well here is Binsu as well. Not really a lot happening, mostly a wet noodle fight as they call it. On the top lane as usual. Teleport, however, is up for Binsu, but I don't think they're going to use it this early into the game, just to get back into lane as quick as possible. Human farming.
Also interesting to see on these two that he went for Doran's Blade rather than Longsword 3 potions, so he has a little bit of less sustain, but more combat stats for his laning phase, so he's quite confident in this lane matchup. Of course he has the range advantage, and with his W procs he can get a lot of damage down.
Yeah, on top lane you'll see the Xizo and Retivo are actually grouping up to see if they can make a gank happen here on Dan again, invading his jungle. They're really aggressive this game, just keeping up that poking in their jungle, just invading every time, try to make Dan totally useless in this game. Oh, nice hook here on Hydro, will take some damage, but nothing he can deal with as being a big bull.
He's a cow after all, and he has sustain in the lane, can just heal all that damage up. But yeah, like you said, then he's getting pressured a lot this game. Not sure if it will be to full success. He is still up in farm compared to Retivo, and now Xixi, he also had to give up a little bit of farm to Binsu, so I'm not sure if that's a really worth trade.
Yeah, I mean either. So Pink Ward has been spotted though, but it doesn't seem that Xio wants to give it up. Oh, Pink Ward for Pink Ward, here we go.
But at least Mouse knows that is a Pink Ward.
They got it, yeah. They can clean it up a bit later when they do the scuttle. Go. So Dan is going back, not gonna gank this bottom lane here. Gonna get some extra items. And it seems that Retivo is he's just doing what he does as a Rek'Sai, just moving around, dinging in, maybe invading soon again.
So what happens now in this bot lane is Mouse bot lane got the upper hand right now. It is level 5. Around level 4, Corki starts to get a little bit stronger in lane. He has like the extra point in his Phosphor Bomb, so his arrest will be stronger too. And he's also winning in CS and levels overall in XP. So it's a really great situation for Mouse to be in, having that scaling towards the mid game over the bot lane throw up.
Exactly. And here Grove actually starting to group here to go for Dragon here. Really early one. Nice pickup as well if they can get it. There's not really much Mouse can do at this point about it, so they're just gonna try to pick it up. And Mouse just thinks we'll take one later. That's fine. You can have it. As long as we have it later on. And like you said, they have Corki. We'll go to level 6 soon. We'll do a lot more damage. So Dragon picked up here for grow up. 1-0. Teleport used here by CZ. After you see these names going back up.
So it's actually interesting to see that Mouse didn't have any walls. It's because the duo laners have not gone back to base at all. They've just been sitting in lane. Oh, Retivo goes for the
nice play here, knocking him back into the ground. So nice try though.
A nice try indeed, and I think this eSports Grow Up needs, maybe they can still get a kill on Solution and just see if they can snowball that into their advantage, just to, I guess, to band-aid that mid-game power.
Oh, Dan has been spotted. A Twist Offense being used. He's getting very low here, but it will get help here. But first blood here, and now Zizzy's in a lot of trouble. Has to be a bit careful. Cherry is here to back it up. But Binsu is so tanky. Here with a Hex Drinker, flashing over the wall. Being flashed after though, and that laser just fried him.
Victor with the kill clean up there, but great play from Xizzy. He flashed the laser, I believe, there. I was not sure if it was in time, but he did actually flash over Binsu right there in order to avoid some damage. Oh no, not the laser. In fact, it's on the same team. What am I talking about? But just to jump over, pardon me, to jump over the boulder that Binsu was throwing. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but I really love that Hex Drink. The Hex Drink really did a lot right there. It's like, wow, that damage just was my gating. Nice pickup here though.
So Mountain had a great hook there, but last wolf he actually dashed away even though the hook didn't go onto him, so there was a lot of free harass that he could get on Hydro.
Oh, Retivo again, annoying them, but he did pick up the red buff, I believe, so.
This time he gets away with it.
This time he'll get away with it. It was just in time to pick it up here. Of course, Cherry now has 1-0 here on Jace. Also has more farm, while Jace has a tier, so he is a little bit weaker in that spike. It's gonna be interesting to see. Oh, Hydro getting pretty low here. I'm not sure you want to walk forward. He has the flash for it. They will go run after. Nice heal pick up, but he will flash for the kill. Now he's gonna go after Cedrion, but they also still have a heal carry and used it. So now Last Wolf has to go back. So wow. I really think that Hydro went too aggressive there.
I would agree so. I mean, they're shooting quite low mana. But at least now he is after that culling. But they didn't really have that power to go all in on it. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication between Mouse later too. Mouse did have enough for a play, but Sadwin just didn't want to risk the 2v1 potential. He was a lone man himself, so just back out. They take that free kill, let it go back to base, and I think Corky has enough gold to get like Sheen and Phage. There you go.
There we go. And I don't believe Idro also had enough gold to actually enough mana to use his ultimate as well. So he was kind of like, eh. I want to go in there, don't have enough mana, have to flash out, panic.
This is actually like a scary point for Grow Up, because now Corky, Sheen and Phage. So he has both burst and good sustained damage in the Phage, the sustained damage from the Phage. And it's just BF pickaxe, which is really good for last move, but it's going to be scary, because if the hook lands on last move, it's a free burst, and he cannot really go back into the trade, because then they would be losing the trade overall, just because like they couldn't return any damage.
The age of Corky has begun, pretty much. So they just have to sit it out, see if they can make something happen with the team. Rebuff going back to Reativo again. He probably will use it for something really cool. Bot lane again, getting a rest and push really, really hard here. Cedron, a little bit careful, but did see them in time, so we'll get them safe. But look at how they're all fighting in the jungle. Again, an invade here by Dan together with Xio. See if something can happen out of it. And Dan is gonna jump in here. Nice push from Cherry. Has to just chrono break to safety.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was getting a little too hairy, so it was like, nope, never mind. Cannot get the shield and the stun there, so might as well go back.
That's really cool about Echo. You can just jump in, and if you think like, well, gets a bit tricky, let's jump out. Let's reverse time.
And so far, that's the main purpose of Chrono Break. I've not really anyone seen it used offensively.
Oh, it does actually do a lot of damage,
yeah,
but it's really hard to use. So Reativo here being chased down here. See if he can get away here. Xio, oh, no. Dan just jump in really nicely here. Sidewinder as well, so nice pickup here. Oh, Xio though.
That's a needlessly large rod there. That's actually really great pickup from Cherry.
That does damage.
Yeah, he has the early lead, and he also wants to compensate for the Corky, so he just goes for the fat amount of damage.
Oh, they're going for the bot lane here. Idro nicely disengages here. Will it be enough? Will they tower dive? That's the question. No, they're not gonna do it.
I think
a bit too dangerous, a bit too risky.
Yeah, a bit too hard. Everyone is on 100% HP, so...
Tower diving and Alistar.
But look at the poke. Look at the poke.
That's really, really good. So Binsu here also pushing really hard on XCC. We're gonna see when they're actually gonna do some action. Both have teleport up, so when Dragon is up in 43 seconds, it's probably gonna be interesting, and I bet this one is gonna be contested more than the last one. I think it's a bit harder for Grow Up to actually get this one as easy.
Especially with the mid-game power spike that Sadion will be having soon. He's getting close and close towards that Trinity force that leads Grow Up as Cherry with the large rod. He has a lead, so they can compensate.
Oh, he's gonna go on Mountain here. Mountain, you have to walk away, but teleport has been popped. He will continue. Yes, he will go in here. Beans is gonna after it. Mountain will fall, however, and Last Wolf as well. 1-for-1 so far, but the fight continues here. They're gonna go after Idro. He will finally break out his unbreakable will. Now Beans is in a lot of trouble. Will try to get away. Will transform into his Mega Gnar, smash everybody against the wall. And this, yeah, there you go, the Hex Drinker again, keeping him safe so far. It seems he's actually going back in.
He kind of wants to. He's like, I'm not quite done here. I just want to continue.
Let's throw some buildings.
Fight me.
Look how cute I am, throwing buildings at your face. So Dragon has been spawned again, so let's see if somebody's gonna go for it. I think so. It's got a crap, of course, in favor of Mouse.
That's a good point to actually bring up. Just because of that teleport play that Grove was able to make, they've got the control around the Dragon area.
Yeah. And actually Grow Up are doing it. I'm quite surprised, actually. So now Dan it wants to make a move, try to flash it out. Oh! He will flash it out! Go breaks out, but will die for it, but totally worth it in my book. You're my hero, man.
It's just one kill he gave away, and they got mid out of turn 2.
Yeah.
So Zio was just pushing that just to compensate for the Dragon, but now they also get the steal on top of that.
I like it, I like it. I mean, of course it's sad, Dan died for it, but it's totally worth it. He tried to chrono break out of there, but he got... Whoa! Hello.
That was not quite the plan, I think.
No. That was nice pickup there.
Well, Trinity Force now finished for Corky. This is going to be really rough for Grow Up. This is where Mouse will be starting to group. I would suspect they would go for the border outer first, just to push that out, so they can open up the map a little bit, and then get the rotations down towards the enemy jungle.
This Corki is gonna do a lot of hurt, so he's pushing down into bot lane. Not really sure if they're just gonna pink down this turret, but
it's gonna be able to get that down.
Should be able to get it if he wants to, but mostly they just want to have as much minions down before it happens. Boss Wolf did return in time. They'll pick up the boss wings.
Okay, so they do not decide to push this completely out, because Mouse feels we can get more out of this. We can possibly deny even more farm from Last Wolf, as well. Maybe we can get another kill to just extend this lead in this bot lane.
And it seems the tables have turned in on Reactiva. Reactiva was actually being knocked not only out of the opposite jungle, but also out of his own jungle. Can he push back deep inside here? Now the turret falls down. And it seems that slowly the tables are turning here, and Mouse is taking control of the driver's seat.
So then around this top lane, there was a lot of focus on Fizzy. Not sure if they would be willing to dive in, but at least they want to start to get pressure around this top lane. Now that bot outer is down, they would definitely want to make a play around that top outer turret.
So Reactiva here lurking in the top lane. See if they can make a play happen on CZ, because that means they would get a top turret as well. But Dan is also coming in from the side, trying to make a play here. Bottom fight is also breaking out here on Idro, but Idro will Unbreakable will away. He can't kill those pretty much. Tiso does flash away here. Nicely done here. Sidewinder will connect, but doesn't really do a lot. But they have to be careful here. You cannot stay here. You have to recall, and this tower will go down.
Now Cherry joining in this top lane just to be able to defend this. Maybe they want to bait it in. He's still saving.
He has to be careful though. He is very low, even though he is a Maokai.
Well, he can heal up a lot, so he's kind of fine. He's still tanky and can heal because of the Sap Magic passive. But it's still kind of dangerous. Still an Echo and a Gnar. They still have a lot of sustained DPS.
Oh, mid fight here. Cherry being jumped on, being erased from existence. And that means the mid tower might go down really quick here.
And that's that mid-game power spike from the Corki, but now top lane.
Now they're going on Sizzy. It's actually very tanky though, but it will go down. The turret though keeps on shooting, you have to be a bit careful of that. But now reactive. Oh, damn.
Reflexes.
You're like living on the edge, man.
So great reflexes on that flash from Den. So
everybody's going top here after Reactiva. Reactiva is alone here. Will ultimate away. That Void Rush is perfect.
Yeah, so not only can you use it to make plays around the map, you can also
get away.
Escape.
Rushing out of danger. So Team of Mouse is going back. They collected some money in these fights, 2 towers, there's some kills, so going back here to buy some cool stuff. And going back into the field.
Oh, actually interesting to see that Cherry went for Luden's Echo first. Normally that's like an item, you go for it to be snowballing really hard and just want like extra wave there, for example. But now he'll be lacking mana regen, and now that all the outer turrets are down as well for the mid-inner turret, at Grove side, it's really hard to keep getting your blue buff, because Mouse will be able to get a lot of pressure down that blue buff, and it's going to be hard to defend from the siege if you have no mana regen at this point of Victim.
Yeah, and also Dragon's gonna get up soon again. Baron is gonna spawn soon as well. More objectives will be added to the field. It's gonna be interesting because Mousesports is making the cage smaller and smaller with every fight they have, and they're really rotating to get as much towers down as possible. I mean, they keep tidying it up. And mid lane they're active, top lane they're active, bot lane they're active, and what can Grow Up do about this?
At least their first step has already been achieved, which is just keeping vision in your own jungle. So you already can see they've got vision around their own jungle, so you will be able to see these rotations from Mouse. But yeah, it will be really hard. I think the only possibility is to catch them out on either 3 or 4 men, get a flank down from like a Maokai teleport and the Rexa, and just delete them with Victor.
Yeah.
And see if you can get from that pick off a little bit of extra pushing power, maybe a turret, and see if you can scrap up some gold again. Because if you look at it, about 7k gold behind.
That is pretty big. I mean, it is one for the one dragon, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I mean, the 4 towers to 0 as well. That's pretty huge. They have not been able to get any turret down so far. And you can see that really in the gold.
Yeah, and it's also one of the win conditions on Mouse. Like, it's the mid-game power spike. They want to take all your turrets and repeat even more. But the hook!
The hook on Hero, maybe not the right target, but when alone, it's totally worth it. Will get away with the Unbreakable Will. But it does mean the next team fight, he will not have his ultimate up. So they might want to make an extra play here, and they will here. Tiso getting He does make a kill, but will have to sacrifice his life for it. That means they're going to keep pushing here on the top lane. I'm not sure how much they can actually do about it. They will get poked down if they're not careful. Though that lane clear here is really, really good here from Cherry.
Didn't get the full wave there though, but
yeah.
I mean, Corki Trinity Force is actually not in the fight here. He's just in the bot lane pushing, but there's still like an enemy brutalizer. Additional AD with pickaxe and longsword onto Zio. So with his hypercharge, he can still take turrets down really quickly.
Yeah, now Last Wolf is the only one below. Let's shoot the Last Wolf remaining. As Cedron is going to the mid lane, see if he can actually get some extra farming there. He just wants to keep farming and pushing everywhere he can, shooting his rockets. It seems that Grow Up is actually moving towards Dragon here. They know it's going to get live soon. 25 more seconds, so they want to have it again. They see it as a... I mean, if they can get another Dragon easily, it gives them a little advantage again. So every advantage helps. So it's a good objective to go for. And maybe they can cash out some people there as well. So
exactly.
Always a good choice.
Of course, it's a low chance I can actually go for the 5v5 fight, but if they have an opportunity to get a flank down with both Maokai and Rek'Sai, then they can just blow a target up and then see if they can win the fight.
Yeah. Scuttle Crop, however, goes in the face of Mouse. So, these are the kind of things they want. Oh, but the hook will come in from Eater. Eater does not have a breakable wheel just yet. Almost, though. Colin comes out here, but not sure if that's the best one. He will not be able to breakable wheel. Oh, now go back into that box. Last Wolf, however, will be here. Yeah, going down here off the screen. Ciso will not be able to do much. And this is just a massacre. It's just 4 for 0 now. Will they be able to ace it? No, Meganar says no. But it will be a Dragon up here for Mouse.
Cannot catch her. Queen 2. He's not quite fast. Not fast enough at least. He didn't get the frozen mana proc down there. And I actually like this pickup. Getting extra CC in for just general extra peel and chasing power for the rest of your team. You can speed up your whole team with the acceleration gate. Just keep getting the pokes down. And if you can get extra additional slows onto a Gnar, you can just chase them down.
They probably should have just retreated after Eater got caught, but hey, what can you do, right? He almost had his breakable will up as well. That was really funny. It was like a few seconds, but he got burst down just before, so nice Baron pickup here though from Mouse, but that was to be expected.
So Baron being picked up right now. This means a lot of trouble for Grow Up. Baron Blood will even enhance the sieging power more of teams, and now with the full lineup of Mouse, they've said it enough of times, the very strong siege composition, they will be shredding turrets.
I mean, they have Baron, they are 12k ahead. I mean, they can just... One J shot is gonna hurt so much, even on an Alistar.
And this actually all goes back towards the early game. So we saw Reativo, he was putting pressure down onto Den, trying to see if they could... Like, buy a little bit of time for the laners to get like a lead. But we didn't see in any lane that there was like a severe lead for any of the players of Grow Up. So it's... In the end, it was counterproductive to hold back the enemy jungler, putting so many resources in, if your lanes are not even working.
But yeah, didn't really work as expected. In the end, Reativo actually was bullied out of his own game pretty much. So I'm out just keeping on tidying it up. Another tower here being siege, and there's not really much Grow Up can do about it. All it can do is keep on defending, pushing back, going one layer back. But at some point they will have to do something.
They also go for the 4-1 push, where Beansu is in his mid lane, just pushing that one out to see if they can get pressure into 2 different lanes. In top lane, we see a slow freeze going on right now, so eventually that will be pushing in towards the inhibitor turret in the top lane. So they can just go for the one person in the mid lane. Corki, Jace, all you need for the siege.
Yeah, they're just gonna do it from 2 sides now, bottom and mid lane. They can just keep on pushing it. They might gonna go in here. Oh, nice damage on the turret though. If they can keep this up, it will go down at some point. This one will not heal up. And the same goes for the mid turret. That nice Baron buff though. Those buff minions really doing work here.
Yeah, they got really tanky, especially the melee minions get so tanky and soak up so many turret shots. And it just allows them to chunk down the turret bit by bit. And with the Trinity Force, it will be easy to take them
and those
down.
J shots, the acceleration gauge, you can just shoot them through. Keep on badgering everybody is trying to defend a turret. They can only wait, really. They can't really do anything. They have to wait till they make a mistake. But will that happen? That's the question. They're all getting real low. Last Wolf has to return. Now is actually the time they could engage if they really wanted to. That turret is also really low.
So it's also nice to see that Mouse is taking it really slow. They don't want to overdive things. They're just taking it bit by bit, just getting chunks and chunks of those turrets. And now the dive is going on.
And now they're going for it. I mean, that turret is so low. It's still standing though. Now going down. Box stopping Idro here. Idro is made out of butter. Will just go down here. Top of Xizo will take down Binsu. Nice shutdown here. Did not expect that to happen, but the tower of course helped. But it does mean that the bottom inhibitor will go down here. Will go in Mouse's favor. So even though they got 2 kills out of that, they still lost a lot. Even another turret here in the mid lane. But they will keep on fighting. Retrieval here being caught out. Hesteron is not really tanky.
Oh!
Nice. Wow. That's all I can say is nice. So that's the second inhibitor here going down here in Mouse's favor, even though they are a bit less. And then they're going to return afterwards.
Yeah, but 2 inhibitors being down, it's getting...
Power of money is speaking, man. The goal.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I need to mention it. You can see Grow Up is struggling so hard right now against Mouse. They are in such a bad spot. They are 12k behind people. Well, not even. Is it? They're 13k even. More than 13k
and
behind.
It's going higher and higher. I mean, at some point it won't matter anymore, but still, that advantage is so huge right now. I mean, you saw how quick Idro fell down as Alistar. It's as if he was a squishy. It's just, I mean, if you look at his build as well, he doesn't really have a lot.
No, the only tanky thing in there is like the Talisman with HP and also the Ruby Crystal HP.
He has some HP and that's it.
But it can still be effective on Alistar because you've got your ultimate. So the more HP you get, the more effectiveness you will get from the 70% damage reduction on the Alistar ultimate. But if your ultimate is down, you'll be like a fly going down.
Yeah, he needs his ultimate. So next move is coming up really soon. They're just looking for a moment. They'll probably want to go play by the book, keep bashing the top lanes, and the rest of the lanes will keep pushing with the super minions anyway. So at some point they will have to go defend it, and so they can take top without any problems and go for a third inhibitor. Nice book play here. Then we're just gonna keep it safe. This is pro after all, but Izzy will get pulled in. Normally not really clever, but in this case, look at all that damage coming out here. And that's a 0 for free, and they just keep on going. Last Wolf also being knocked down. That's brutal.
It was just a catch on Dizzy. After that he committed in. Oh, great cleanse from Cherry there, but can he make it out? He does go to the fountain. But it was Meganar. They had the rage bar on Meganar, so they could contest that fight. And now they can end. They take down the Nexus.
So this game will go to Mouse. I mean, normally for a Maokai, I would say getting reeled in, fine. But if you're that far behind, no.
Yeah, and it was just a pretty dominant game all over the board, really. It was an 805 Cedrion. He even went for Infinity Edge third item. You would normally go that.
He never died.
Yeah, he never died. He got all the farm all across the map. Could just get that siege down together with the Jace. And Mouse, like, they got everything they wanted. Turrets early on, 4-0 early. There was nothing that Grove could do at that point, so maybe it was kind of a loss to go for the pressure onto Den early on.
It felt like really like Mouse played it by the book. They had their strategy. They went with it. They gave the dragons away because they knew they weren't strong enough back then. And once they had those spikes, bam, tables flipped.
And look at that damage as well on Cedrion. He did about 22,000 damage, and the highest was on Grove side was 15,000. On Cherry, so you can really see that comparison. It was a really dominant game from us.
Bizarre, a lot of damage. Even for a Gnar, actually, doing the same amount of damage as a Victor. Wow. That's very crazy. So yeah, I'm not really sure we're actually going to do another pro match here, so for now we're going to take a break here, and when we get more, we will get back to you, pretty much.